Is there any super food that you can suggest? आज से कुछ साल पहले हम लोग सिंगापुर मूव किए थे, मैं और मेरी फैमिली, और हम कुछ साल वहाँ रहे। घर में खाना खाना वर्सेस बाहर खाना खाना के क्या प्रोज एंड कॉन्स हैं?
यहाँ पे सबसे फनी बात मुझे लगती है, जब हम बाहर जाते हैं बोलते हैं अरे उस होटल में मतलब घर जैसा खाना मिलता है।
हाँ,
इतनी मेहनत क्यों कर रहे हैं, इसको ये सुपरमार्केट से क्यों नहीं ले आते, गेहूं को उगाने के लिए मेहनत क्यों करते हैं। और ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम में रसोई घर को रसायनशाला कहा जाता था। एक इंसान खुद से कोई चीज बनाता है या ग्रो करता है अपने बैकयार्ड, द वैल्यू फॉर दैट फूड, द रेस्पेक्ट फॉर दैट फूड इज सो मच मोर। फूड इज नॉट मोस्टली फ्रेश। क्या तू तो बस 2 करोड़ का पैकेज लिया, खाने वाने की चिंता मत कर, खाना बनाने क्यों सीखना है।
प्लांट बेस्ड प्रोटीन लेना बेटर है, चाहे वुमेन के लिए हो चाहे मेन के लिए हो। पर्टिकुलर डेफिशिएंसीज हैं जो टिपिकली इंडियंस काफी फेस करते हैं।
हम सनलाइट को सही टाइम पे ले, भाई तू मेरे बॉडी में अच्छे से रहे, मैं तुझे खुश रखूंगा। सो B12 में वो चीज है।
क्या टिप्स हो सकती हैं कि जब आप कोई पैकेज फूड चूज कर रहे हो तो किन चीजों का आप ध्यान रख सकते हैं?
जैगरी इज वेरी रिच इन माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स।
आज से कुछ साल पहले हम लोग सिंगापुर मूव किए थे, मैं और मेरी फैमिली, और हम कुछ साल वहाँ रहे। तो जब हम शुरू में सिंगापुर मूव किए तो हमने वहाँ पर कुछ सोसाइटीज में घर देखने शुरू किए फॉर रेंट। तो उसमें जब भी हम कोई घर देखते थे तो हम उसमें रियलाइज करते थे कि जो किचन थी वो बहुत छोटी होती थी, मतलब न के बराबर होती थी। मतलब कहीं तो सिंपल स्लैब्स थी, कोई सिंक नहीं है। तो हमने एजेंट से पूछा कि भाई ये बार बार ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है कि किचन ही नहीं है, किचन है तो बहुत छोटी है। तो उसने हमें पूछा कि भाई आप क्या घर पे खाना खाओगे? तो हमने कहा हम तो घर पे खाना खाते हैं। तो सिंगापुर में काफी ट्रेंड था कि ब्रेकफास्ट और डिनर नॉर्मली लोग बाहर करते थे, लंच तो ऑफ कोर्स ऑफिस में ही हो जाता था। तो उसने बोला यार तो किचन थोड़े ऐसे ही होते हैं। खैर फाइनली हम लोगों ने फिगर आउट कर लिया, हमें एक घर मिल गया जहाँ हम रहने लग गए। लेकिन ये एक ट्रेंड था सिंगापुर में। एंड डू यू थिंक कि इंडिया में भी ऐसा कोई ट्रेंड आ रहा है या अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड जहाँ पे ईटिंग आउट probably is becoming more I would say predominant in India? That is the first part. एक चीज जो मेरे मन में बार बार आती है कि क्या सही में इंडिया में भी हो रहा है? एंड आई थिंक यू विल हैव द आंसर probably because you talk to a lot of people. सेकंड ये भी है कि घर में खाना खाना वर्सेस बाहर खाना खाना के क्या मतलब प्रोज एंड कॉन्स हैं? मतलब ऑफ कोर्स हम सबको बाहर खाना खाना अच्छा लगता ही है, बट क्या सही है क्या गलत है, कैसे देखें इसको? तो व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन इट?
बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन पूछा है आपने। जब यहाँ पे सबसे फनी बात मुझे लगती है, जब हम बाहर जाते हैं बोलते हैं अरे उस होटल में मतलब घर जैसा खाना मिलता है।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, बिल्कुल सही बात है। हाँ,
तो जब घर जैसा खाना है या फिर दाल रोटी खानी है शादी में जाके,
तो घर पे खा लो। हाँ,
एग्जैक्टली। लेकिन बात ये है, आई थिंक इसमें बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स है विशाल। एक
ओके।
बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर है द अर्निंग कैपेसिटी, जिसकी वजह से हमें लगता है कि अभी जरूरत नहीं कुक करने की। दूसरा, like a confusion in options because there are so many things that constantly tempt you on your screens. And then information overload even about what we should eat and what we should not. तो आज तो स्प्राउट से लेकर जूस से लेकर सब कुछ बाहर मिल ही रहा है, जो कि पहले पॉसिबल नहीं था। तो आई थिंक there are both pros and cons to it, but of course cons are more because we have forgotten the power of food as a health provider. It is not just for taste or building the body, but it is literally giving you everything that you need for your entire lifespan. अभी जो हम डिजीजेस की बात कर रहे थे, तो पहले ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम में रसोई घर को रसायनशाला कहा जाता था कि लिटरली इट हैज दैट पावर टू गिव यू एवरी मेडिसिन दैट यू मोस्टली नीड इन 90% ऑफ द और मे बी 80% ऑफ द केसेस। इमरजेंसी की बात अलग है, बट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स किचन में वो सब कुछ होता है जो कहीं ना कहीं स्पाइसेस में या वेजिटेबल्स में जो आपको किसी पर्टिकुलर नॉर्मल हेल्थ कंसर्न के लिए चाहिए हो सकता है। तो आई ट्रूली बिलीव इन द पावर ऑफ किचन। तो अभी एक आई वुड मे बी शेयर अ लिंक हियर दैट देयर वाज अ शेफ whose name is Jamie Oliver. तो जेमी ऑलिवर ने एक स्टडी किया एंड ही वाज काइंड ऑफ इनवाइटेड टू अ फैमिली जहां पर बहुत सीवियर ओबेसिटी थी, लाइक 13-year-old डॉटर एंड मे बी एक 10 years से भी कम उसका एक सिबलिंग। तो डॉक्टर्स had said that they need to be operated, otherwise they will their vital organs will be severely suffocated and they will just maybe die in few years because of obesity. So the chef went to the mother and asked, what do you feed your children? And she got everything on a table in front of him, and she showed that these are protein enriched bagels, or this is vitamin enriched bread, or this is some soft drink. So she was like, everything shouts like rich with iron, rich in iron, rich in vitamins. So like, what's wrong with what I'm feeding my kids? So he's literally like, you're killing your children. What do you cook? She said, I don't know how to cook. Nobody taught me. Neither my mother, nor my mom's mom, nor my mom's sister. Nobody taught me how to cook. So she was like, oh my God, why nobody taught me what to cook and how to cook? Then this chef took this responsibility and he launched a campaign called as Teach Every Child About Food, from how it grows. And there's a very famous joke that a child and his mother are going through the countryside, and the child asks his mother, what is this in this open area? What is this growing? What is this crop? So she said, this is wheat. And he asked that, okay, where it's coming from? She said that these farmers grow it. लाइक इतनी मेहनत क्यों कर रहे हैं इसको, ये सुपरमार्केट से क्यों नहीं ले आते गेहूं, इनको उगाने के लिए मेहनत क्यों करती हैं? So I think that whole notion, perception of how a food is grown, and I would say जब कोई इंसान खुद से कोई चीज बनाता है या ग्रो करता है अपने बैकयार्ड में, the value for that food, the respect for that food is so much more. So I think India is definitely going towards it. In metros, the size of the kitchen is definitely shrinking. So the main problem with eating out is, number one is that it is mostly not fresh. Otherwise, they can't give you a quick service. They can't cook it from scratch. So there, it would be either 2 days old, 3 days old, depending on what you're ordering, how famous it is. If it's a routine item like dal and rice, maybe it is not too old. The other thing is use of aluminum vessels. So aluminum, as you see in the old aluminum vessels, if you see, you will find small black pits, because aluminum leaches very fast in the presence of heat and in the presence of anything acidic. So whenever we make sabzis or dal, we would put tomatoes, curd, or anything which is acidic in nature, which is khatta in nature. So in the presence of these two things, heat and anything which is sour, so then the aluminum starts to leach out, and the body's capacity to excrete aluminum is very low. So then it starts impacting the neurons. Neurons is the first target. Neurons is the main target for accumulated aluminum. That's why Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's are on the rise. So eating out, number one problem, because aluminum vessels cook faster. So we are ingesting a lot of aluminum when we eat out. The other thing is usage of palm oil, because it's neutral, it does not have its inherent any taste or flavor. So, palm oil goes in a lot of cooking. And third thing is that food is not mostly fresh. These are the three main concerns why we shouldn't eat out. But yeah, I think there has to be balance about we have to learn some things which are simple to cook and good for our gut health. But yeah, everybody, and it should not be just a matter of gender, because if the genders are agnostic when it comes to working or earning money, then why the burden of cooking is only on one side? So I think that is also one thing that should be promoted. Like, बेटा तू तो बस 2 करोड़ का पैकेज लिया, खाने वाने की चिंता मत कर, खाना बनाना क्यों सीखना है? So I think that culture has to maintain ourselves कि हमको इंडिया में इतनी वैरायटी आती है, हम किसी भी चीज से हर 5 तरह की डिशेस बना सकते हैं या फिर ज्यादा. तो that is a superpower that we should not lose. It is not a shame that और एक खाना बनाना पड़ रहा है.
Absolutely. या न्यूट्रिशन के बारे में जब हम बात करते हैं, जब हम घर में खाने की बात करते हैं, तो एक आजकल काफी इस बारे में बातचीत होती है कि टिपिकली हाई प्रोटीन डाइट में लेना चाहिए. ये कई जगह ये बात सुनने में आती है, तो इसके बारे में व्हाट इज योर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू?
Protein, I think, is overhyped. I mean, protein is important, of course, because so protein, when we're talking about protein, it is not to derive energy from protein. Protein is for structure. Protein is for growth. Protein is for repair. So till a certain age, when the body is still growing, the tissues are still forming, the muscles are still taking shape. So that time, of course, protein is important. But when we do not club the micros and macros properly, so what happens? Protein is made up of amino acids. The building block of protein is amino acid. So essentially, protein is acidic in nature. So if you are kind of focused on increasing your protein intake, you should also make sure that you are clubbing it with proper fiber and alkaline foods. Like, because the pH of the blood is 7.4, which is towards alkaline. So the body needs a certain pH to function properly. So if you're having, anyways, what we have, like very much spicy food, or when we are kind of also consuming a lot of stuff in the inhalation process in the polluted environment. So overall, the body is always struggling to maintain its pH. So in that case, if you're taking protein, make sure that the intake of fiber, fresh harvest is also good. And when it comes to women, it is also important that checking the source of what protein they're using, because sometimes the hormonal imbalance from the source of the protein can also start impacting women, because ultimately the milk sources from other cattle. So women and cattle are kind of interconnected in the terms of the hormonal similarity, because how that source is coming, like if the cattle has been injected with a lot of hormones to induce lactation, then that is something that I would suggest women to focus more on plant-based protein and try to take it in the food sources itself, but not going for standalone protein supplements.
गॉट इट। तो आई थिंक प्लांट बेस्ड प्रोटीन अगर ले रहे हो तो प्लांट बेस्ड प्रोटीन लेना बेटर है, चाहे women के लिए हो चाहे men
Yes.
के लिए हो, is what your
Yeah, I
recommendation?
think even for men it is better.
Yeah. Okay.
But we have to see, sometimes some sources are not suitable for some people. And also make sure that the protein that you're taking is not filled with a lot of other nonsense stuff like flavors or sugar and all the other sort of making it more attractive. So try to be as simple as possible when it comes to protein. And as I
Wait.
said, make sure that fiber and जो alkaline part है वो आपकी diet में balanced है.
श्योर गॉट इट। कोई पर्टिकुलर डेफिशिएंसीज हैं जो टिपिकली इंडियंस काफी फेस करते हैं जो
I think this answer is like everybody's talking about B12 and D, but I would say some things which are not highlighted enough are zinc and iron, because
okay
we all are mostly aware and we are going for tests with B12 and D3, and we have started taking good care of that. But I would say having prebiotics is important when it comes to B12 deficiency, because bacteria is essentially that species which is creating B12 in our gut. So we have to, take, be in their good books कि भाई तू मेरे बॉडी में अच्छे से रहे, मैं तुझे खुश रखूंगा. सो B12 में वो चीज है. एंड D3 में ये इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम सनलाइट को सही टाइम पे लें, बिकॉज द वेवलेंथ इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज नॉट एवरी वेवलेंथ विल ट्रिगर द synthesis of D3 in the body. So taking it when the sun is almost at 45 degree, whether it's morning or evening doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
that wavelength, the wavelength of the sunlight. So that is there when the sun is at 45 degrees, in front of our eyes. So that is the right time. So in the morning, roughly see that time, and take it when you're wearing white clothes or minimal clothes, so that the body is kind of more exposed to it. Taking it completely and not applying anything, so that not blocking the proper penetration of sunlight into your skin. So D ke liye wo important, and of course if it is chronic, if the threshold is gone below a certain deficiency level, then of course first you need supplement and then you maintain it with sunlight and proper foods. But zinc and iron, I would say, is kind of underrated and we're not even realizing. तो जिंक के लिए people can use bajra, then pumpkin seeds, tofu, all of these things. So zinc and iron, I would say people should also take care of. Otherwise कोई हम टेस्ट ही नहीं करवाता इन सब micronutrients के.
Got it. Since we're talking about nutrition, एक बड़ी important, मतलब I think omnipresent entity जो हमारे आसपास है वो है packaged foods. I think हम में से कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है जो उससे exactly बच पाता है. आप कहीं पे जाएंगे पैकेज फूड दिखते ही हैं, एंड ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज अ स्पेक्ट्रम ऑफ इट. तो एक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट तो जो ये हो सकता है कि, एंड वी ऑल नो कि पैकेज फूड्स आर नॉट वेरी गुड इनहेरेंटली, तो एक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट तो ये है कि आप कंप्लीटली अवॉइड कर दो. एक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट ये है कि भाई कंप्लीटली अवॉइड कैसे करोगे, कुछ तो यूज करना ही पड़ेगा. तो कुड यू गिव सम प्रैक्टिकल टिप्स कि अगर आप कोई पैकेज फूड, मरता क्या नहीं करता, लेना ही है, सपोज मार्केट से लेना है, जरूरी है आपको, तो क्या टिप्स हो सकती हैं कि जब आप कोई पैकेज फूड चूज कर रहे हो तो किन चीजों का आप ध्यान रख सकते हैं?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. In fact, I've been so fascinated with these food labels since 2015. I've been collecting the food wrappers from like streets or bins from the canteen in IIT Bombay. And I was doing my research stint at University College of London when I got fascinated by, what is in there, what is in there. And that time now when I look back, if I want to know what is there in a certain package, namkeen or in a biscuit, I would not get that information on Google, because I remember that very vividly in 2015 and 16 when I wanted to know, no site or no source or internet would tell me what exactly is there. Now it's everywhere. So yeah, it has been an interesting journey. I've kind of arranged and stored a lot of labels. Of course, I clean them and arrange them in my diary or something. So something for the common man, I would say, one is of course palm oil. So look out if it has palm oil. It is very difficult to duck it though. Like palm oil is almost omnipresent. But now there are many conscious makers or players in this segment who have started to use less quantities or using other oils like filtered oils and trying to make it as oil free as possible. The other thing I would say is synthetic colors and synthetic flavors. So there are flavors which are nature derived, which are, for example, directly you're putting beetroot extract or rose extract, or you're putting a synthetic flavor. So synthetic flavors and synthetic colors is something that we have to look for. Then coming to something which disturbs our gut health or the gut microbiome. So in that we should be steering clear of MSG, that we all know, monosodium glutamate. Then carrageenan. Carrageenan is also very common, but it sounds very fancy and non sounds very innocent. But carrageenan is one. And then carboxymethyl cellulose, which is CMC. So CMC, carrageenan, MSG, then palm oil and synthetic colors and flavors is what we should be more careful of. And like reading the labels is very important. What we do is typically we just read the expiry date and calories. But the same amount of calories can come from three different sources, like the same calories if it's coming from jaggery or honey or sugar. So we should not just be so obsessed with calorie, but also see what is the source of that calorie.
गॉट इट। तो ये सारी चीजें हम चाहे तो पैकेज फूड के लेबल से पढ़ सकते हैं, सारी इंफॉर्मेशन वैसे अवेलेबल होती है टिपिकली। ओके, गॉट इट। Since we are wrapping up the nutrition part, I think I've just lost one question, I think, which would kind of summarize the nutrition bit. Is there any superfood that you can suggest to our listeners कि यार ये एक चीज है जो सबको खानी ही चाहिए, या एक या दो या तीन चीजें जो आपको लगती हैं?
That's a good question, but that's a tough question for me specifically because I work very personally with people. So for me, there is no one thumb rule for everyone, but still I would maybe take this opportunity to highlight some of the foods which are not so famous, but they are superfoods. So like everybody knows that spirulina or soybean or protein or maybe broccoli or green tea, these are the things which are very commonly talked about. But I would say I would maybe take the side of the underdog, like bathua. So bathua is like, okay, everybody's talking about spinach, papaya ko hum dekh ke like spinach is a superfood. But spinach is a very high sodium content. So in that case, bathua is very good. It's very alkaline. We were talking about pH balance. So bathua is, so if you're looking for greens, so give some space to bathua in your daily diet, in sabzis or in paranthas or in raita. So I would say let's not be so obsessed with the sabzis which are the mainstream, like the kings and the queens of the sabzi market, like gobi, palak. So let's also focus on some lesser known variants. जैसे कि हमने पहले भी बात की थी, तो बथुआ है, then there is one काली गवार फली, then there is red चौले के पत्ते. So these are like truly superfoods for us. And I would also say jaggery, because jaggery is very rich in micronutrients and iron. So jaggery, people are like, अरे ये मीठा तो है, but if you're having the same amount of sugar, it is not giving you anything, but it's an empty calorie. So maybe the same amount of 20 grams of white sugar is empty calories. It's not giving you any micronutrients. But 20 grams of jaggery, which is not bleached or refined, so the reddish, or I would say the dark brownish version of jaggery is good, is really good. But of course, you can't have it throughout the day, because of course it will spike your insulin. It will impact your pancreas. But if you're taking something sweet, go for these. And dates, of course. So dates are very getting very famous nowadays. But people have this myth that you cannot have dates in summers. But actually, just imagine that where dates are grown, they're very hot countries. So dates are not that bad even in summer. So now summers are approaching. So we should not be like कि अब सर्दियों में खाना था खजूर अब गर्मी में नहीं खा सकते. So anybody who has a sweet tooth, who wants to have something sweet with their meals, they can always go for one date. Of course, the date should also be either medjool or something which is least processed. So yeah, dates, bathua, some seasonal local vegetables, and jaggery is what I feel. And of course, one more thing I can mention here is anar. So pomegranate is very good, especially as we're talking about viruses. So anar has a lot of antiviral properties. So if somebody is having viral, so give them anar in any form. And yeah, so among fruits, anar.
ओके श्रेया, तो हम लोग अपने डिस्कशन के टुवर्ड्स द एंड पार्ट पे अब रीच करें. वी आर रीचिंग टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ इट. सो वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट diseases, we have talked about health, we have talked about nutrition, we have talked about cooking, we have talked about packaged foods, we have talked about superfoods. So just to summarize, do you think कुछ daily practices जो which everybody should follow in their life, if you were to mention a few practices that everybody should practice in their life, just to summarize this discussion, like kind of a takeaway for people, तो वो क्या कुछ daily practices होंगे आपके हिसाब से?
I would say I would start with the body clock part. When we wake up and just before we sleep, taking at least 15 minutes at both these terminals of the day. So throughout the day, we are so much focused on work, but these 2 points are very important because the charger for a human body is sleep. So as you wake up, we should not abruptly rush or enter the day and just start working and phone dekha, notifications dekhe, missed calls, calm. So always plan a routine in such a way that you have plan your routine in such a way that after you wake up, you have 15 minutes to yourself when you can like breathe deeply, introspect, plan the day, and just stretch your body. Because a lot of micro injuries happen because of the lack of stretch. So even for people who don't have time for a proper workout, after waking up when the body is still kind of booting up, that time mild stretching and deep breathing is very important. And then kind of coming to a sense of gratitude and looking at the positive side of life. And before sleeping also, as I said, massaging the feet by yourself, then using some essential oils to actually wind down and taking care of the ambience. So I think these 15 minutes. So I would say everybody should have this 30 minutes of me time to them, especially at these junctions of sleep and waking up cycle. And the other thing I would say, incorporating the teas which are derived from flowers. So we all are either taking the normal chai coffee, or we are like, some people are shifting to green tea. But we're not realizing that green tea is literally what? It is just a blend of antioxidant which is coming from green leaves. So it is not that a certain only a certain leaf will give you that benefit. So I would say, and I also suggest this to a lot of my cases, depending on what problem they have. So if somebody always feel very agitated and they are very sweaty and they feel a lot of anger, so sometimes teas like rose tea. For some people who have BP issues, then for them hibiscus tea. People who have sleep issues, lavender or lemongrass tea. So I would say use various sources of nature to give yourself a refreshing and rejuvenating experience in terms of your drinks. So in drinks, we are very confined to just a few options. So I would say that, using these blue flower tea, hibiscus, chamomile, so we can go for them. And there is something called as marua in Hindi. It's also called as marjora. So it is a very good tea for decongesting, and it just grows like anything. And once anything becomes famous, then it's so expensive. Otherwise, it's just lying all around us in the backyard, in the garden. So, like, of course, I can send some recommendations to you. You can incorporate in this. But yeah. So, and one thing is taking a proper break after lunch, maybe for 5 minutes. So, like in Ayurveda, there is a saying that one who runs after work, just after having their meals, so the death runs after that person who runs after work, just after the meals.
Okay.
Giving a 5 minute break, either to just sit properly or doing Vajrasan or taking a small stroll, but not. So what is the reason, as you can ask, that, why is it so? Because that time the body needs the entire focus, the body's energy, the blood circulation is towards your gut, towards your stomach. So that time, if there is any extensive work which you are using your brain or kind of tense, then the digestion gets hampered. So rather, what you can do is do some gentle deep breathing so that the oxygenation, as you understand that when the food is burnt, when anything is burnt in environment, it needs oxygen. So
Hmm.
even proper oxygenation while we are eating the food or digesting the food, it helps to digest it better. So I would say we all are focused on super foods, हमें क्या खाना है, हमको अच्छा ये मंगवाना है, हमको supplements मंगाने हैं, but nobody is focused on how to digest it better. So my focus here is having those practices in your daily life which help you digest better. So for that, eating a little less. So if you want to eat four chapatis, eat only three, but chew them well. So 75 to 80% is what you should eat. As like if your hunger is 100%, then 80% of it. So this is one digestion aid. And then, as I said, sit little rest and half an hour at your terminals.
ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रेट, थैंक यू सो मच श्रेया। एक चीज मैं सब अपने गेस्ट से पूछता हूँ, वो ये है कि अगर उनको बुक्स कोई रिकमेंडेशन या पॉडकास्ट रिकमेंडेशन या मूवी रिकमेंडेशन देनी है तो वो दे सकते हैं। तो इफ देयर इज एनी बुक रिकमेंडेशन दैट यू वांट टू मेक, प्लीज आप बताएं, सो दैट लाइक आवर व्यूअर्स कैन प्रोबेबली रीड दोज बुक्स और एनीथिंग एल्स, और वो किसी भी टॉपिक पे हो सकती है। या
Okay. So one book that I strongly recommend is Eat Dirt, EATDIRT. Eat Dirt by Josh Axe. And the
ओके।
other one is How Not to Die by Michael Greger, which talks about a lot of diseases, lot of chronic diseases, to be honest. And those who want to understand Ayurveda better, then books by Vasant Lad are very, like any book from Vasant Lad. He's written many books. And those who want to understand naturopathy, books by H.K. Bakru. So for him, it's like one manual, which is a very thick book, Basics of Naturopathy or something like that. But the author is H.K. Bakru. So these four books for those who want to deep dive into the world of wellness.
ओके ओके, ग्रेट श्रेया। आई थिंक अब तो बाय करने का समय आ गया, पर मुझे एक ख्याल आया कि हो सकता है कि हम जब बात कर रहे थे बीच में कोई बात ऐसी थी जो आपको बात करते करते लगा कि ये एक पॉइंट मिस हो गया, तो आई थिंक वी कैन कवर इट राइट नाउ। या मैं कुछ पूछना भूल गया, या आई थिंक वो लॉजिकल कुछ चीज छूट गई है, तो इफ यू थिंक देयर इज सम पार्टिंग थॉट्स, प्लीज थिंक अबाउट इट एंड यू कैन शेयर।
I think
कुछ छूट गया हो तो।
अभी जैसे जैसे हमारे पास पावर बढ़ी है हर चीज की, like everything is on our fingertips. So we have forgotten the value of living slow, living in rhythm, and living in harmony with our own internal cycle. So human body has an internal cycle, has a monthly cycle. Nature has a cycle of seasons. So I think we have forgotten to acknowledge that we are a part of nature. Nature is not a part of us, but we are a part of nature. So we have to honor the rhythms of the seasons, of the day and night. We should not like eating at 2 a.m. and then, maybe eating cucumbers in winter. So I think we should respect this rhythm. Then your immune system will be more in check. And the other focus that I have always is focusing on prevention. Just imagine if we had centers of teaching prevention to human beings and the treatment centers would have gone down. How beautiful that would be. But nowadays, having more hospitals is seen as a sign of development, while it is not a sign of development. It simply says that how sick as humanity or as a society we are. So there was a time, for example, I think that stories from China or some other part of the world where physicians or doctors were incentivized for keeping a family healthy. And as soon as a family member got sick, the doctor would be penalized. That why did they fall sick? Have you not done enough to prevent this disease? So the whole reward system was towards prevention, was towards health. Now we are rewarding cesareans, we are rewarding more surgeries. So what it is it leading to? We are actually looking at disease. So prevention is very important, and I would say even in terms of efforts or money or time, prevention is far more cheaper than treatment. But it's
Absolutely.
the human psyche that when something goes wrong, so health is that crown on a person's head that only the sick can see. So I think this is what my parting thought would be.
Yes.
And
Yeah, so that's great, Shreya. Thank you so much कनेक्ट करने के लिए. I had a lot of fun talking to you, and I hope जो लोग हमें सुन रहे हैं, they might understand at least a few things from what you have spoken. Like prevention is better than cure. क्यों हम उस दिन का इंतजार करें जब हमें हॉस्पिटल जाना पड़े? बेटर है कि हम आज ही अपना ख्याल रखें by leading a good life, by being closer to the nature. I think if we respect nature, like what you said, nature भी हमारा ख्याल रखेगा. तो
exactly.
thank you so much, Shreya.
And every day finding something that induces joy in you. For example, I love to dance, so or somebody who finds joy in reading, or something which immediately looks very non rewarding कि यार इससे मुझे क्या मिल रहा है, immediately मुझे क्या मिल रहा है. So I think वो जो मस्ती वाले moments है, every day you have to grab them before the day ends. तो एक लाइन मुझे याद आती है कि जिसकी मस्ती जिंदा है उसकी जिसकी मस्ती जिंदा है उसकी हस्ती जिंदा है, वरना वो जबरदस्ती जिंदा है.
सही बात है.
तो ऐसे ही ये जो आप इनिशिएटिव ले रहे हैं, इट्स सो गुड. एंड लाइक टॉकिंग टू all sorts of people with their stories. So thank you so much for this initiative and having me with you on this today.
Thank you, Shreya. Thank you, Shreya. See you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Right. तो आज की बातचीत यहीं तक. आपको ये बातचीत कैसी लगी प्लीज मेरे को जरूर बताइए. कमेंट्स में बता सकते हैं, आप मेरे को ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं. अगर आप किसी ऐसे इंटरेस्टिंग आदमी को जानते हैं जिसके बारे में आपको लगता है कि मुझे उससे बातचीत करनी चाहिए और उसके एक्सपीरियंसेस हमें इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे शेयर करने चाहिए, तो आप प्लीज वो इन्फॉर्मेशन भी मेरे साथ शेयर करिए. ठीक है, तो आज का यहीं तक. फिर मिलते हैं हम दोबारा बहुत ही जल्दी. थैंक यू सो मच.